Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Never7, The End of Infinity. And, what happened last time? That's how I begin every episode. I try to remember what happened last time. I should take a moment before I start recording to try to remember what happened last time. I know there was the whole thing where we found out that Yuka had a similar dream. She was very, hard to get information out of. It was just that two words that confused me. That one little bit that made me think that she knows more. She said, now? Something like that? Not now? Something like that? Like, I think I commented, actually. I somehow forgot that I commented, as much as I did, but it made it sound like she was expecting him to say something like this, only she was not expecting him to say it then. Or at least that was the way I interpreted it. But anyway, well, we're already a minute in and I'm just rambling. Big surprise. But, yeah, I'm wondering if she knows way more than what she's letting on. She's doing a thing right now where she's putting a lot of information, but I don't know if she's still telling everything that she knows or not. Alright. Time travel. What?
現実の時間の流れから忽然と姿を消すこと。それが泉さんの言ってた神隠しの正体だったってわけ。
Are you being serious? You brought me all the way here just so you could tell me this absurd story?
へっぽこ話なんかじゃないよ。もうちゃんと最後まで聞いて。話はまだ終わってないんだから。
I didn't. Although we are very far, not very far, but we are quite a bit into this than I thought. Or not thought enough, I don't know. Overwhelmed by the authority in her voice, I shut up.
まあ信じられない気持ちもよくわかるけど。
Again, she feels that way at times. Like this is something she's really been thinking about.
私だってこれだけだったら確信を持てなかったと思うもん。これだけだったから確信を持てずにいたんだよ。さっきまでずっと考え込んでたのはその決め手となる何かを探すためだったの。
Which means you've found the deciding factor now?
誠、ちょっとあそこにある文字を読んでみてくれないかな。
Yuka points her finger towards the roof of the shrine. Isn't that the one that says Shikinomori? And hanging under the roof of the shrine is the large rectangular sign. Shikinomori, that's what's written on it. Shikinomori, what about it?
じゃあ、今度は逆から読んでみて。
Yuka said, playing around with words just before we left the shop. This isn't another one of your stupid portmanteau jokes like Kuru milk or Ishitakahara, is it? Portmanteau jokes. Is that something I should know about? Am I a bad person for not knowing what that word means? I'm guessing it's something to do with word or linguistics.
いいから読んでみて。
Shikinomori backwards is Mori no Kishi. Right. Wouldn't it be Rimo no Kishi? I don't know. Well, I'm sure that this part is hard to get, translated properly to where it makes sense, so.
森は音読みだとなんて読む？
Two, I think.
死は訓読みだと？
It's Tsukasa, right?
それを通して読んだら？
Tuki Tsukasa. To rule time. To rule time.
やっと気づいたみたいね。この神社どう考えたって最近建てられたようには見えないでしょ。もし仮に大昔に建てられたものだとしたら右から左へと読むのが正確な読み方ってことになるよね。 とすると、この神社の正式名称は四季の森神社じゃなくて、
It's the Tsukasa Shrine, the time-ruling shrine.
そういうこと。要するに時を司る神様を祀った神社だったんだよ、本当は。納得？
So, the god that rules over time, would that not also be called a Time Lord? Perhaps this is a TARDIS that's been camouflaged. I like to put Doctor Who jokes in here. I don't know why. Agree. There's no way in hell I could do that.
まだ疑ってるんだ。
Isn't that obvious? What you're saying is just an abstract theory based on nothing more than circumstantial evidence. Seriously, he's been very adamant throughout this whole game so far that he can see premonitions. However, time travel is very complicated and far out thought for this guy. I guess it's weird that sometimes you can believe really well in one thing and then something that seems like it's in the exact same vein is completely ridiculous and out there to you. So yeah. Shrine's true name is the Time Ruling Shrine, even if I were to unwillingly give in to that point, so what? It means nothing. Well, free you from time. How can you say that's the basis for time travel from something that was written on a talisman? Being spirited away was just a rumor. In the end, it was nothing more than a superstition. Because this place is facing a precipitous cliff, it would be extremely dangerous if any kids were to play here. It's because of that reason that the superstition was created, to scare kids so that they wouldn't try coming here. She doesn't seem happy with my assessment. See, every clear piece of evidence you have is insufficient. I can't agree with you if this is all the proof that you've got.
Makoto, どうしてそんなにムキになってるの？
Huh?
本当はMakoto、気づいてるんじゃないの？
Realized it. What have I realized?
まあいいわ。証拠でしょ？証拠っていうより証人だけどね。
You've got witnesses? What type of witnesses? You hide them somewhere? Witnesses? Where would people?
ここにいる。
Huh?
ここにいる2人が証人よ。
What are you?
私たちこの神社でタイムスリップしたのよ。今思えばあの時気づかなかったのが不思議だけど、誠がルナビーチでお米がないって言った時じゃなかったらサキが溺れた後にでも。私言ったでしょ、防波堤に着く前に嫌な予感がするって。だけど私鈴を拾うまでは夢のことなんかすっかり忘れちゃってたから。
And those premonitions were... Well, here's what I'm having trouble with. Time travel would be actually physically traveling back in time. And if the shrine had something to do with that, wouldn't they have to be in the shrine to do that? So I'm guessing the only way that it could make any sense is for it to happen at the end of the story. And like I said, you're repeating the same time over and over again. Because I'm guessing that's the only way that it could make sense, though.
そう。正確に言うと予知じゃなくて過去の記憶を思い出してたに過ぎないってこと。
Okay, yeah.
私たちは未来を一度経験したことがあるんだと思う。
I was fixed to say because they couldn't have like traveled in time at that exact moment they were having the premonition things.
だからサキが溺れるってことやお米が切れてるってことを頭の片隅で覚えてたんだよ。
Going back to Doctor Who, he does talk about fixed points in time that have to happen. I wonder if those are those moments in time that have to happen. It's very strange that if that were the case, that I mean, Saki drowning, that's a big event, but that in almost every reality, that there would be no rice. Kind of strange. I remember Haruka falling onto Moon Beach. Izumi-san falling into the pool. Izumi-san falling into the pool. Oh wait, was that during the earthquake? Yeah, it must have been during. Yeah, it must have been during the earthquake. Car battery was dead. Our dinner on the 3rd would be a meat potato stew. I remember all of it. Is that it? Is that really it? Argument's sake, if it really is true, then I feel a chill suddenly spread from the back of my neck. My forehead is damp with unpleasant sweat. I don't want to think any further from that point.
あの日、4月6日土曜日に私たちは解き放たれた。そしてもしもこの仮説が正しいとすれば、こういうこともできるかもしれない。明日4月6日土曜日に私たちは解き放たれる。
That dream. In other words, that dream is the past we experienced, and at the same time might be the future that we'll experience. Is that right? Yuka slowly nods. That can't be. It's impossible. It's definitely impossible. I instantly mutter these words in protest despite the logic. I don't want to accept it. This can't be possible.
そうだよね。そう思うのは当然のことだよ。冷静に考えればこんなバカバカしい話信じろっていう方がどうかしてると思う。全てはただの妄想で私の頭がおかしくなってるだけかもしれない。だけどもしこれが真実だったとしたら。
The two of us silently stare at each other's eyes. Hers are hiding an uncorrupted pure light. That bold look causes my heart to mercilessly tighten up. Acceptance and denial, a violent battle between these two. It was going on in my
だからお
mind.
願い。これだけは誓ってほしいの。今後一切この神社には近寄らないって。もちろん私ももう二度とここには来ないから。二人がこの神社にやってきたりさえしなければ、きっとあの夢が現実になることはないと思うの。
And what if there's somebody in danger at the shrine, and they have to go there to try to make the dream not a reality, but it makes it a reality anyway. I'm pretty sure that they're going to go back to the shrine. That's what always happens, you know. You know, in a movie they're like, "Well, go back there, no matter what." You know what they do? They always go back there towards the end of the movie, and the crap happens, and yeah, it's just something that has to happen, you know, for a story to do its thing. You can't leave an audience dangling with what would have happened if they went back there, because I mean, that would be boring. So that really be enough to change history? Of course, that's why characters in fiction a lot of times don't do the smart things. One thing, because they're realistic, because people don't always do the smart thing. Also, because I mean, to make it interesting. Of course, some people would do the smart thing, you know. Some people would do the smart thing, but a lot of people wouldn't do the smart thing. Like a killer on the loose. Let's call the police. Let's get the police in on this. You know, they would do that, but a lot of people. But I guess a lot of people probably wouldn't. I think most people would do that. I can't remember. Have they got the police involved in most of the Friday the 13th movies or that sort of thing? I can't remember. I think I've watched most of them, but it was mostly it's been mostly 10 years ago. I don't know why that's the first one I think of. I know the cops were definitely involved in the Halloween movies. I'm not a big fan of those type movies, but I have watched them. Moving on. Let's not get distracted.
私の言ってること本当かどうかなんてわからない。でも用心するに越したことはないんだし。
You're saying we should let sleeping dogs lie?
誓ってくれる？
I then answer. I understand. I swear it. It's not like I'm admitting this is all true, but on the other hand, I also can't dismiss everything as fantasy. And then we can't be sure if anything will happen or not until tomorrow. As a precaution, I've decided to play it safe. I won't ever return to the shrine. I don't have a reason not to take this seriously. A faint smile forms on Yuka's face. She hasn't smiled like that for a while. They should do is stay up all night and take a couple sleeping pills in the morning. That way they won't wake up all day. Probably wouldn't kill them, but that would keep them from going in the shrine all day. So that precious smile feels like finding a treasure that's been hidden away for hundreds of years. She's a girl who should be smiling all the time. We descend the long staircase without turning around once. The wind is just as still as it was earlier, but the air right now is damp to the point that it's chilling the core of my body. Perhaps it's because of the chill that Yuka suddenly wraps her arm around mine. Yuka's body heat warms my frozen heart, thawing it. Wouldn't mind if this long staircase continued for eternity. Before I know it, this thought has crossed my mind. I return to the lodge, meet up with Okahiko and Haruka, and quickly eat dinner. Taking into consideration that we're not in the best of moods, Haruka decided to cook it for us. Unfortunately, I don't remember how it tasted. To me, it took everything I could muster just to force the food down to my stomach. Can't even find myself able to sit around with the others in the living room after dinner and chat due to my inflexible mind. When Yuka and I thank Haruka, we immediately seclude ourselves in our rooms. In that time, I lie on top of my bed and stare at the ceiling. On a whim, I look at my watch. In just an hour, the data on my watch will change from 5 to 6. This is moving faster than Never7. This is only episode 23, I'm pretty sure. It's already getting to the last day, so yeah, it's definitely moving faster. 1 hour, it feels like such a short time. Yet it also feels like it's incredibly far away. Now, it might be more accurate that far away I'm thinking of is 25 hours from now. If I sleep now, it might be the 7th when I wake up. Impatiently await for that miracle from the bottom of my heart. Yeah. It happened to me last weekend. I'd be dead tired. I'd go to bed, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to sleep for 8 hours. 4 hours later, boom, I'm awake. But the time heartlessly ticks away just 1 second at a time. It's as if it's ridiculing me. I glance at the ceiling again, as I absently stare at the ceiling and go over the story Yuka told me one more time. Time travel. You don't even need to use Einstein's theory of relativity to tell that something like that could never happen in real life. But it's also a fact that there's actually been strange phenomena that have been frequently occurring over the past 5 days that can't be chalked up as simple coincidences. The premonitions, the bell, the shrine, and that dream. If Yuka's theory is correct, then all those things can be completely explained. Perhaps the bell is, yeah, that makes sense. Perhaps the bell is going under time travel too. Something's bugging me. Is it because this absurd, surreal story doesn't feel like it's reality? No, that's wrong. Rather than the story's realism and stuff like that, it's the uncomfortable feeling that Yuka's words have left me with. Somewhere in them, there's something strange and inconsistent about them. It's that kind of feeling. Huh? Now to think about it, didn't Yuka say something strange on the coastline road this morning? And on that morning, when I went into your room, you didn't seem to know any of it. Because of that, I really thought it was just a dream at that time. Why? Why do I feel a sense of discomfort from those words? That wasn't... Yeah, I guess that makes sense, but that... What was the thing that bugged me earlier? Oh, it kind of does. So what is hidden in those words? She knows more than what she's telling. And at that time, the door suddenly opens. Quick and get out of the bed. What's wrong, Haruka? Sad, but Haruka's expression is peaceful. This dude's got the ladies coming into his bedroom all the time, don't he? Haruka gently opens the palm of her hand. In it is a small white paper bag. Huh?
今日の夕方、くるみに会って誠に渡してほしいって。
Oh, thanks. Please leave with her. As I say this, I take the paper bag from her.
それじゃ、おやすみ。
What's in the paper bag? Or is it just the paper bag? Because that's... Oh my gosh. What have I done with my paper bag? How will I survive without my paper bag? Unless you've got some serious hyperventilation issues, and that's... Haruka leaves the room. The paper bag is in my hands. Apparently, paper bags are coming back in style, everybody. 2019! The time of plastic bags will be gone. It's paper bags again. Now think about it, at Luna Beach, Karimi said, "Do you want something good?" just before we left. Yeah, that's right. This is that something good? But couldn't Haruka have at least knocked? Bursting here so suddenly. Ah! In an instant, I recall a vivid scene in my mind.
どういうこと？どうして？
That's it. That's why I've been feeling that sense of discomfort. On the morning of the 1st, Yuka burst into my room. That's the cause of the inconsistency. When I thrust the paper bag in my pocket, I began to pace around the room. He don't even look in it. What's in it? Is it seriously just a paper bag? Thus far, Yuka and I have been put in surprisingly similar circumstances, had more or less the same thoughts, and acted similarly. If some Yuka's story is true, then it's because we've experienced the same history. However, there was just one time where Yuka and I took completely different actions, right? On the morning of the 1st, Yuka came into my room, but I never thought about trying to go to Yuka's room. That's right, this is it. There's a contradiction here. Who is this guy? Phoenix, right? First of all, why didn't I go to Yuka's room? I tried to come up with an answer. When I woke up that morning, I thought that dream was just a dream. Not reality, just a dream. But, for argument's sake, even if I had thought it was reality, I still wouldn't have thought of trying to go to Yuka's room. Because I didn't know who the person in my dream was. Whenever Yuka came to my room... Why? Of course, because I was in Yuka's dream. Does that mean... No, he said it's the girl that was dead. So that means it's not gonna be him that's dead. So does that mean it's... Does that mean it's Yuka that's dead? Or is it gonna be more likely... Was Yuka kind of an bystander that witnessed the girl dead? I have a feeling that whoever route you're going down is the person who dies. I could be completely wrong with that. I don't know, but it would make more sense. Then again, you kind of get the same ending every time, though. Unless it's different ways they die. Because, yeah, it really wasn't established how. Just that they were dead, so... And one of them could drown, one of them could, I don't know, get her head chopped off. I don't think they're going to do anything quite gruesome like that. Mostly because if you get your head chopped off, you can't have, like, a really prolonged death scene, which animes really love, you know. When she woke up that morning, Yuka probably thought the dream was reality. Since I appeared in her dream, she headed straight to my room. She headed straight for me, but I was calm and the same as always. There was nothing strange about me at all. That's when Yuka reached the point where she began to think it was just a dream. Wait a minute. I was in Yuka's dream? Me? And what Yuka saw in that morning was me on the verge of death? No, that's impossible. He said the bell was in... I saw in my dream was definitely someone other than me. There's no way I could have been able to see myself. Which means, was it the other way around? I don't know, sometimes you do have those dreams where you see yourself, but... Again, he said it was a girl. The one who died was Yuka, and she saw me as she was on the brink of death. But that's also wrong. You could also say it's on the coastline road.
だってそんなこと言えるわけないでしょ。誰かが死ぬ夢だったなんて、そんなこと。
I had a dream where someone died. Someone. If she herself had died, then she definitely wouldn't have described it that way. If that's the case, what does it mean? First of all, I can't think something like we actually had different dreams. We both saw that bell. That says it all. Then what is it? I see, that's it. What is it? So simple. In other words, you and I witnessed it together the moment that someone died. Let's say, for argument's sake, first I witnessed that moment, and next, Yuka, who was following behind me, witnessed it. I didn't realize that Yuka was behind me. But in front of Yuka was me and that dead person. That dead person. If I think of it that way, it's possible to explain everything. Ha! I sigh deeply. Before I know it, that strange, that feeling of a foreign object lying in my mind and bugging me has disappeared without a trace. But that doesn't mean I'm happy. It's because by deriving the solution, I've gotten rid of the contradiction. This means that the credibility of Yuka's story has considerably increased. Death. Is someone really going to die? And if so, who will it be?
あの灯台の下で好きな異性に告白すると恋が実るって言われてるの。
くるみの中ではお兄ちゃんが一番お兄ちゃんっぽい人なの。
だけど生きてることも日々偶然みたいなものだからね。じゃあキスして。
Furiously punch a door, which probably will bring people up. I heard something. What was that? If it don't, I call shenanigans. Seriously. You ever noticed in movies, you know, when I think I pointed this out before, but it always cracks me up when people start saying, "Guards, guards, guards," and then somebody covers their mouth after the third guards. I would think if they're not supposed to be there, one holler of guards would be enough to alert the guards. I'm just saying that if they had continued to do it, then one should have done it. I'm just saying. But who's going to die? Probably not going to find out this. You're not going to find out this episode, and you're probably not going to find out the next episode. But that is a cliffhanger for this episode. So somebody's going to die. Somebody. So, whoo. Oh no, they didn't list Okuhiko as an option, so I feel slightly bad by going, dang. He is a jerk. I'm not saying that jerks should die, but I'm just saying that he's a jerk. So, but anyway, gonna see some more next time. So I do hope you folks enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next one. Farewell there.